Welcome to another episode of the CPG Guys podcast. Our co-hosts, Sri Rajagopalan and Peter V.S. Bond, explore how brands and retailers engage with consumers online, in-store, and everywhere in between. And now, here are Sri and Peter. Ho, 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 and welcome to this special holidays episode of the CPG Guys podcast. I'm PVSB, one of the aforementioned CPG guys, and my co-host, well, he's a living legend in the CPG world, so famous that he only goes by one name. Please join me in welcoming the man known as Sri. Sri, how you doing?
Peter, what a pleasure doing this week over week with you. I'm super excited for today's episode because it is a whippersnapper, call it what you may. I can't wait to get our special guest on and get the messages out that we've been waiting for, literally day before Black Friday. Woot, woot.
I'm with you on that, Sri. It's going to be a great episode. A reminder to our audience that you can find all of our content simply by visiting CPGGuys.com. Links to our podcasts on over 40 platforms. Some of the content we share are a list of curated podcasts that we like to listen to when we're not listening to ourselves. All of that free. Just go to CPGGuys.com and please join this growing community by following us on LinkedIn. You can do that by typing LinkedIn on your browser and simply searching for CPG Guys. When you get to our company page, hit the blue follow button. It's pretty much that easy. Coming this Christmas week, we'll be publishing a new episode every day through New Year's Day, starting with the second annual Omnis Awards, recognizing the best in consumer engagement from brands, retailers, marketplaces, and service providers. Our Fresh Four co-hosts, Andrea Lay and Melissa Burdick, they'll help us MC the awards. We're actually going to be filming them from Seattle this year. We'll follow the Omnis with a return of Omnicom's Brian Gildenberg to give us the 2021 retrospective and predictions for 2022. This all starts December 25th. Lastly, I'll mention the CPG Guys are proud to be a partner of New, the network of executive women. In the middle of every Wednesday episode, there's an Easter egg with information and content all about New and the current activities. So please do check it out. You can learn more about New by going to newonline.org/CPG Guys. All right. Our guest today first appeared on the podcast in 2020. She's rejoining us to kick off the holiday season. She's become somewhat infamous for creating a highly curated holiday recommendations to help her friends with their holiday shopping. When she's not building a holiday gift guide, she serves as the Senior Director of Omnichannel Transformation for Walmart Connect, the unit of the world's most elite retailer. Please join us in welcoming back to the CPG Guys podcast, Whitney Cooper. Whitney, hey, how you doing today?
Hey, hello. It is so awesome to be back. It's been a hot minute since I've been here. I have to just say that I am so proud of you guys. You guys are the ones that are actually infamous now. I'm super excited to chat with you on this. And yeah, thanks for having me.
You hear that, Sri? Whitney says that we are notorious. Sorry, it just came to me. I know.
I'm posting on since I live in Los Angeles these days.
I am busting a rhyme. Hey, Whitney, we're really excited to kick off this rather unusual episode of the CPG Guys. And it's unusual only because it's not directly focused on how brands and retailers are engaging consumers. This is about helping our time-strapped audience dazzle and delight their family and friends this holiday seasons with some terrific gifts. And I'll remind everyone here that if you want to see Whitney's entire curated holiday gift guide, well, we're going to put a link to that in the digital liner notes of this podcast episode. So that's the best way for you to find it while you're listening to Whitney tell us about it. So before we get to the actual list, Whitney, a couple questions for you. Would really like to understand what was the stimulus or the genesis of you curating the holiday gift guide, and how long have you actually been doing this?
So before I joined land of CPG and then eventually retail, several years ago, I worked in influencer marketing, before and right when it was really starting to become a thing in the 2010s time period. And as I was doing this, I actually started to gain a really large following on Facebook, Meta, Facebook, whichever one you want to call it. And over that time, I would always share things I really loved. for anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge tech nerd. I'm really into film. I'm really into fashion and makeup. And as I was, I would talk about these things on a normal basis if I used them. And I had so many people that would say, you have great recommendations. You should really start to, make something out of that. And one year, about 6 years ago, I decided to do a holiday gift guide that I posted on Facebook. And, the thing for me, and always put this in there, it's not sponsored. I have no affiliation with those brands at all. It's stuff that I love so much, I put my name on it. So it's been going on for 6 years. And yeah, I'm excited that, last year was the first year I posted it outside of Facebook. I actually posted it on LinkedIn. And so it's gotten some good audience over the few years I've been doing it.
How awesome, Whitney. I, for one, knowing you for a few years now, selfishly taking advantage of this list that you put out every year makes my life a little easier. And I can't imagine, Whitney, that you curate this in a week. This is probably something, because it's so inclusive. This is something you're thinking about probably much more than a week and much more than a month. And how do you get the inspiration for what you pick, and how do you land upon it? And how long does it take?
So honestly, I started really January 1st every year. And, the big thing for me with this list is to make sure that, it goes across the full spectrum of not just things, but also services and, experiences. So it takes me a very long time to do it. And I put a lot of effort into it because, again, I'm not doing this I'm not being compensated. It's something that it's my kind of gift to my friends and family. It's my Christmas gift to them. And, I just have a file in my phone, and, every week almost, as I try things and I explore things, I just, journal it down. And starting in late September every year, I really start calling down and deciding what I want to recommend. So that's my process.
That's fascinating, Whitney. So give us an idea, how long is the list this year? And when you're building it, are you keeping in mind specific price ranges you're trying to target when selecting items for the guide?
Yeah. So this year's list is going to be about 20 things, services, feelings. To that, anyone who's been following the list knows that I always end the list. The very last item is always something that is emotional or free. And, for me, as I've been curating this, and it always has been very important to me that it is very accessible. So it doesn't matter if, there's so many people that are struggling right now because of COVID, either financially, mentally, emotionally, away from loved ones. And so it's very important to me, especially this year, that it's got things on it that range from free to, maybe $30,000. You'll have to read it to find out, but it's gifts for everybody.
I love that Peter and I really believe that the fact that you're creating a guide here that's so inclusive is an awesome thing, because it's something for everybody. And when you look through the list, I myself over the years know that there's something for everybody. So that is really awesome. But in the spirit of being inclusive, I got to imagine a lot of these items easily can be purchasable from Walmart.com. It is one of the largest e-commerce retailers not just in the United States, in the whole world. But are there items that you can find outside of Walmart.com too?
So I'm really glad you're asking me this question, and I'm going to address it head on because I've had a lot of people already ask me about this. And just frankly speaking, the evolution of my career and me as a person, it was much easier for me to make this list when I was on the CPG side because I could be somewhat agnostic, right? So if you remember in the early days, there were gifts from pretty much every retailer and lots of DTC and services. And, the cool thing about my situation now, having worked where I work and, representing a brand that I love and truly do love it. And I think that anyone who knows me knows that I wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it. That's one of the good and potentially bad things about me is that, usually what I say, I really mean, and it's coming from the heart. Going through this over the last year, the big thing that's changed and evolved inside of our company is now our assortment, our merchants it has completely been revolutionized ever since we now have omni merchants that are really focused on growing.com and growing our marketplace. As I was making the list, I started to realize in my research, a lot of the things I was picking, I'm like, actually, you can buy this at Walmart, and I didn't even know. So it's been really interesting for me over the past year of the discovery almost. And I work there, and I'm out in the stores every week. So, and on the site almost every day. But I will say to that, though, I will say that the list is heavily focused on items that you can find either at walmart.com or in our stores. But I also have included DTC, new and upcoming niche brands that you might not have ever heard of, or super viral or trending. And also their services. There's things that we as a retailer, as we're growing our services remit, could possibly offer in the future, but don't right now. So that's my kind of happy middle of always representing the company I work for and love, but still staying true to making sure there's authenticity with everything I'm recommending.
Before we continue with this week's episode, a brief message about NEW, the Network of Executive Women.
The Network of Executive Women is a growing community of over 14,000 professionals representing nearly 900 organizations across North America. This week, you can attend Bias in Artificial Intelligence on Tuesday, November 30th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, where you'll learn the importance of thinking critically and acting ethically to eliminate bias from the artificial intelligence we create. Visit newonline.org/events to register.
For more information on how to get involved with NEW, visit newonline.org/CPGGuys. And don't forget to tune into the Advancing All Women podcast on Voice America, hosted by NEW President and CEO herself, Sarah Alter. Listen every Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with rebroadcast weekly on the Voice America Influencers Channel. And download episodes after they air wherever you get your podcasts.
Remember, visit newonline.org/CPGGuys to learn more about becoming a member of NEW.
And now, back to our episode in progress.
Thank you for that transparency, Whitney. I know our audience certainly appreciates it. All right, enough of Sri and me jabbering on. Whitney, we're going to pass it over to you. Why don't you highlight for our audience several of the items on your list, just to give them a flavor and get them excited about going and actually retrieving the entire list?
Yeah. So the whole thing with my list is, there's kind of two ways to think about gift giving. There's that traditional, you get this blue box and it's like, oh my gosh, you spent all this money on me. Thank you so much. I love it. It's from Tiffany's. And there's also this, I think as people kind of progress in their life, they start to be thankful for more, the utility of things. So, I think one thing that we've learned out of COVID and over the last couple of years is that, it's not just about money, it's about time. And people value time to be able to work out, to read a book, to, spend time with doing the things that they love. And so when I think about, me specifically, things that, do their job and help me, have a better life, I think those are awesome gifts to receive. So you'll see that curated throughout the list. And, there's stuff that's super, super fun and amazing. And there's stuff that's just like very, very utilitarian. So let's start out with, speaking of, number one. So I have been using the same Dyson vacuum with Labradoodles for the past 12 years. And it still works like the day I bought it. And so, for the person who has lots of dogs and or kids and or dirt, dust and or sod in their backyard, which is terrible because it sheds so bad during the winter, Dyson vacuum, there's a couple different models that I've called out here, but I personally feel so passionate. I can't believe I'm starting my Christmas list talking about a vacuum, but I personally love this thing so much. And I believe in the brand. I believe in their products. So that's one of the items on my list. The second thing, I'm personally, again, people that, don't know me very well, but now you're going to know something about me. I'm obsessed with my teeth being white, probably unhealthy obsession. But that means that if I see any type of ad for any type of teeth whitening or crazy charcoal toothpaste or creepy stuff that you probably should never do, I will try it just to see if it works. And that means any type of kits. So I most recently found this Smile Direct Club whitening, LED whitening kit, and it is incredible. And, so for people, especially in the day of hybrid working, you're on video calls a lot. It helps to have a pretty smile. And this is something that's super economic, and it's amazing what it can really do for people's self-confidence. So, instead of having to go spend a couple $1,000s at the dentist, I know for a fact that the Smile Direct Club LED kit really, really works well. So that's on the list as well. And then lastly, anyone else who knows me knows I'm also quasi pretty much obsessed with fitness and a huge lover of all things Peloton. Code FITWIT for discount on your bike. No, just kidding, sort of. I've been using Peloton now for 4 years, and it's changed my life in a lot of ways. Again, it's a love mark for me. It's one of the brands up there with Apple that I will go to my grave loving this brand. And, last year I had the actual bike on the list, and, that's an expensive gift. And as I was thinking through it, and one of the things I've experienced even on my own this year, I was wanting to go, I'm like, I got to have the tread. I've got to have the treadmill. I have to have the Peloton treadmill. And, just thinking through it, I was like, you know what? I actually have the subscription. Why don't I just play it from my iPad on the awesome treadmill I already have? It was just like a couple of $100 instead of going to buy this, really expensive treadmill. And what I've learned is that actually is amazing. So one of the items on my list this year is actually just a subscription to the Peloton service. And I can tell you, I've tested every single fitness service out there, and the programming, the ease, the trainers, it's best in class. So that comes in at $39 a month. And that's something that, especially in the, years of COVID and trying to be able to work out from home, it's a really great gift to give somebody. So whether you buy them a month to try it or you buy them the full year, imagine giving someone a gym membership for a full year. Like that's something that could really change somebody's life. So those are 3 of my items, and you'll have to tune in on the 24th and check out the list to see the rest.
Well, I can certainly attest to Whitney's obsession with working out. I was with her at the grocery shop conference earlier this year, and we walked across the show floor. I think what for her was just a normal gait, I was at full gallop speed. So trying to keep up with Whitney, it's a big challenge. But in any event, that's absolutely terrific. I want to remind our audience, you can go to CPGGuys.com where you can find all of our content. On our homepage, we'll also place a link to Whitney's curated holiday gift guide, and we'll also embed it in the digital liner notes of this podcast episode. So there's 2 places you'll be able to find the list from the CPG Guys. Whitney, thank you so much for joining us. This is a really fun episode. It's about bringing joy to people's lives, and we hope that your list is going to help our audience do exactly that. So please accept our thanks for you joining us today.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much, and hope you and everyone watching or listening to this, I hope you all have a happy holiday.
Hey, Sri, what'd you think?
Oh, awesome, Peter. Like I've already shared, I use this list anyway. I will continue to use it this year as well. Can you share for our audience, Peter, if they want to look at the list, the entire list, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, again, best way to find the list, either go to CPGGuys.com. We'll have a link right on the homepage that says Whitney's Holiday Gift Guide. And we will also have a link embedded in the digital liner notes of this podcast episode.
Whitney, I can't thank you enough for making time in your busy day to record this and get this out on time for Black Friday. Sincerely appreciated. You've been a great friend of the show, a great friend of mine, and I look forward to doing many more episodes with you.
Awesome. Sit right back at you. Thanks, guys.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to you joining us on the next episode of the CPG Guys. Ho, ho, ho. The content in this podcast episode is provided for general informational purposes only. By listening to our episode, you understand that no information contained in this episode should be construed as advice from CPG Guys LLC or the individual author, hosts, or guests,
nor is it intended to be a substitute for research on any subject matter. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by CPG Guys LLC. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The views expressed by CPG Guys LLC do not represent the views of their employers or the entity they represent. CPG Guys LLC expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, or inability to use this podcast or the information we present in this podcast.